What's up, everybody? We are trying a new thing, week in review. We're hoping to help you guys understand what's happening in the gym, both past, current, and coming up in the future. Shout out some people and maybe even talk about a little bit of education. We're going to start this thing off with Mindset Monday, a quote that you can take into the week and will actually correlate to the workouts that we're doing that week. This week's mindset quote comes from Mark Twain. He said, do something every day that you don't want to do. And if we look at this week's workouts, Monday we have an all strength workout, and Tuesday we have an all cardio workout. I know that my strength people are going to come on Monday and my cardio people on Tuesday, but are my cardio people coming on Monday and are my strength people coming on Tuesday? Do something hard every day that you don't want to do. Shout out to our committed club. We really care about your guys' long-term progress here at the gym, and the Committed Club shows that. So shout out to these people right here for showing up every single day and crushing it and keeping that consistency alive. It shows in your guys' progress, in your health markers, and you keep our community strong. So thank you. Last week, we had some shout outs that we need to give for a few people. Number one, shout out to Bethany. She has been absolutely crushing it. She is on a mission this summer to really buckle down on her fitness so she can show up in the fall back at volleyball a whole new athlete. And we've really seen this progress show up, especially in her workout. So good job, Bethany. Keep it up. Also, shout out to Tom and Sheena. Both came within this close of making it to quarterfinals this year. That was awesome. Way to work hard, you guys. We see them on the Committed Club almost every single week, if not every week throughout the year. And it obviously shows. Also, shout out to everybody that did the Open. We had every single age group had one of our athletes doing it, from 35 and younger all the way up to 70 plus. And we had athletes participate in the foundations version of the workouts, which was super awesome, coming from our wellness club, both our no shuffle club and our wellness class showing up to do the open. It really shows that we don't necessarily care about the leaderboard. What we really care about is long-term health. And this is showing up by people feeling comfortable enough to do something as scary as the open, knowing that we're going to be there to support them long term and that we're not going to push them to do something they shouldn't do in the sake of competition. Instead, we will make sure that what they do is safe, but also pushes them physiologically and psychologically every single day. All right, let's talk about what we got coming up. Bring a Buddy month is happening March 30th through April 30th. Bring a buddy for free. They get to try out the gym all month long on us. No catch whatsoever. They don't even have to sign up at the end of it. But if they do, you'll be put in a drawing. And if you're picked, you'll get 3 months free off of your membership. That's for first place. Second place will get $50 off of their next month membership. And we'll also hook up the athletes who sign up with a free month off of their membership when they sign up as well. So bring your buddies. We want to grow our community, but we want to grow it from within. We love you guys. So we want probably your friends that are just like you to also join our community and make it even more beneficial. So be sure to sign up on the dashboard. Just click on that link and send it to your friend and make sure that they register through the Stream app, and we will reach out to them before March 30th to give them instructions on how to crush Buddy. Also coming up, you guys, we got Murph. Memorial Day Murph. We do this every year, and every year it sneaks us up on us, but not this year. We are already preparing ourselves. You guys have noticed that in the longer workouts we've been doing. A lot of pushing, a lot of squatting, a lot of running, a lot of jumping rope, things that are going to get you prepared for such an awesome and gnarly workout. We're talking close to an hour, if not over, of doing running, pull-ups, push-ups, and squats. If you're brave enough and have been working consistently and being on that committed club, maybe even putting a vest on, this is a hell of a workout, not necessarily because of the actual workout and what it represents, which is amazing on its own, but what happens after the workout on Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people go to barbecues and start drinking beer after they just did one of the hardest workouts that they will do all year long. So we want to encourage you guys that if you are going to participate in Murph this year, which is on Memorial Day weekend, we do it on that Saturday and we are closed on that Monday for Memorial Day. We're going to be remembering those who gave the ultimate sacrifice on that day, and we are standing down on that day to remember every single person who has given the ultimate sacrifice and unfortunately in the present day that we are in, continue to give the ultimate sacrifice, which I hope one day will end and we will have world peace, which is our whole core value and mindset at Coast Range CrossFit, is that we are a microcosm of world peace. You step inside of our doors and you're going to get a feeling of what the future might be like if we can slowly do our part, which is to get everybody in this world as fit as possible, because you can't focus on other people if you're not focused on yourself first. And then from there, we hope that that butterfly effect transfers to other people where they're teaching them how to eat healthy. They're teaching them how to move well. They're teaching them how to be part of a good community, which also means living with our core values of loving kindness, integrity, wisdom, and self control. So we will be participating in Murph this year. You're getting ready for it. You guys will be ready for it as long as you're just showing up consistently. So be consistent. That'll be the best thing that you can do for Murph. And drink some damn water after, not beer if you if you can, because that'll help with the old rhabdo, which we don't want anybody getting. Our next part is going to be talking about news in CrossFit. So what's happening in the broader community of CrossFit, not just within Coast Range's little microcosm. The Open just ended, and we had PR participation both globally and within our own gym as well. And that shows that CrossFit is thriving, no matter what you may think, with Hyrox coming on the scene and Orange Theory and F45s. And it seems like everybody this day is doing functional movements in a community based and keeping people motivated. But we all know that they don't hold a candle to the community that CrossFit creates. And the Open is one of those lighter fluid moments that we get to pour on the community in order to just get everybody fired up again. I've already got people coming up to me going, man, next year, that's it. I'm training all year long for this thing and I'm going to crush it next year because they got held up on one thing, or, maybe it was their strength, or maybe it was their gymnastics, or maybe it was just their consistency within the gym during the year. And the Open is that moment that reminds us of what is important in our life, and health and fitness are at the bottom of the pyramid, the most important things that you could ever focus on for yourself and for your family and for your career and for your long-term goals. If you are fit, if you are healthy, those things will be easier to do and to get. And the Open is our benchmark as a gym to see where do we stack up against all the other gyms around the world in helping you do just that. So the Open is over now. What comes next? Well, we've got Murph coming up, and then we've got the Unity Games, and then we've got, our cookie competition and all of the other events that we do. But what are you going to do with those Open scores? Look back and see which workouts got you the most, and come up to us and ask us, how can you improve on those things? And we will give you a plan. We will help you improve on those areas that will just make you fitter and make you healthier and make you more productive to your family and to yourself and to the world in whole. So great job, CrossFit community, a whole and including Coast Range, on crushing the Open this year. But with all good things, there's always some bad apples, and we had some bad apples this year in the CrossFit community. A lot of cheating going on, and not that this hasn't been a thing in all endeavors that involve a scoreboard, not just CrossFit, but all sports, there's cheating involved. And this year, wow, did some people get called out? There was one athlete who even sped up their video 12 to 15%, spliced another clock that was moving slower on top of the clock that was there on the ingenuity that this person went through and the effort this person showed in order to doctor this video, in order to get a placing on the leaderboard, in order to really just get approval of other people, is sad. And what we hope is that this is a lesson for all of us. And for us at Coast Range CrossFit, it's a reminder that we don't chase a score on the leaderboard. We use that as an opportunity to see, should we be programming differently, or is our programming working? That's all we use that for. But over a longer snapshot, it gives us a really good look at our fitness and health. So don't chase a score on one workout or on the Open or even within a year. Ask yourself, what are my goals long term? When I'm laying on my deathbed and I look back at my life, what am I going to be proud of myself for? And fitness and health will be a large part of that, because that will just give you more time and actual productive and awesome time, not spent in a nursing home time with your family. So make sure that you use the leaderboard as an opportunity to hold yourself accountable and to see if you're making progress over a long term. But don't chase a spot on the daily leaderboard, and obviously don't cheat or cut repetitions short or range of motion short, because who are you actually cheating? Like, who is this person actually cheating? They are cheating themselves out of the opportunity to go against hard things, like we talked about with Mark Twain at the beginning of this thing. And instead, they're finding an easier way out. GLP-1s, fad diets, just not even eating are all easier ways to reach a goal that is misaligned already. This person's goal was to have the approval of other people. And they did all of these things to get approval from other people, to get clout, to be on top of the leaderboard, to be looked at as somebody who does the hard things, to be looked at as somebody who puts in the effort, to be looked at as somebody who has massive integrity, because dang, who actually has the time and the commitment and will prioritize their time and make the commitment to doing something like this at a level that none of us could fathom? Because that's really what that shows. But she didn't. And that's hard to deal with. Because then you got to look in the mirror. You got to look at yourself and you got to ask yourself hard questions. And now that's what this athlete, unfortunately, is having to do. She is having to ask herself some hard questions on, why does she do this? And what is the purpose of speeding up that video? And what is the purpose of cheating? And it's all a wound from something, right? And I hope that this helps her heal that wound. But for my Coast Rangers, if you guys ever have this, if I just miss this one rep, I'm going to beat so and so. If I just cut this wall ball depth a little shorter, or, if I just don't lock out this thruster, or if I just don't get my chin over the bar, instead I'm behind the bar, all of those things add up over time. And they lead to just less fitness, and they lead to less health, and they lead to you being frustrated and wondering why you're not reaching your goals. Well, it's on you. At Coast Range CrossFit, we hold the standard. You saw that all year, that during the open, if you weren't below parallel, we would no rep you. If you weren't touching the line, you were getting no repped. And we had to set out targets for some people to touch to make sure they were below parallel. And we had to put certain judges with certain athletes to really help them, guide them to the positions and help them understand how to get into those positions, because it was tough for them. But that was exactly why we are there, is to do hard things daily so that we can reap the rewards of those hard things. We just happen to put it in a community of awesome people with some okay music every once in a while. That's all I have to say about that. All right. Health trends around the world. GLP-1s and weight loss supplements and peptides and shots and pills and patches and whatever, creams and all this stuff. Should you use them? Should you take them? Should your mom use them? Should your mom take them? Should your sister? Should your uncle? Should your dad? It depends. That is always the answer. There is no black or white. Some people may benefit from these drugs tremendously, and most people will benefit short term, just like that person trying to cheat on the leaderboard. But long term, they will suffer. This is why at Coast Range, our nutrition coaches don't focus on a macro count every single time, or a calorie count, or whatever. We focus on habits. We focus on the reason why behind you overeating or undereating, or eating too much of this thing or too less of this thing, or having trouble eating at all, or binging during certain times. There's reasons why those things are happening that we need to tackle, and they most of the time have nothing to actually do with nutrition, and they have everything to do with your past and the stories you're telling yourself and the things that have happened to you. And we need to overcome those things in order to actually create the habits and the lifestyle that support diet and exercise and sleep. And when we have habits that support diet and exercise and sleep, like we're part of a CrossFit community, so people expect us to be there. And if we're not there, we're going to get called out. So we have accountability. When you aren't seeing results in your nutrition, people are going to ask you what's going on with your nutrition, and you're going to have accountability, and your coach is going to ask you and give you the education that you need to actually get there. And plus, you're also going to have vicarious experiences through other people at a CrossFit gym, which are all things that you need for habit change. So being part of a CrossFit community and taking these drugs may actually be beneficial for some people. But for those that aren't a part of a community that is already doing the things that are necessary to reap the rewards that you are after, you're just going to fall back into the old habits that your tribe is still in, and you're going to yo-yo. or you're going to get stuck in this calorie deficit that ends up losing so much muscle mass and bone density that you become brittle, and then you have to go into the nursing home super early in your life because everybody's worried about you falling and breaking a hip. So, should you use GLP-1s or Ozempics or whatever weight loss stuff? The answer is it depends. But the hard truth is, if you don't have a community of people there to help you on the lifestyle, on the nutrition, on the sleep, then you probably shouldn't. And you should probably become part of one of those first and curate that lifestyle. Then, if the nutrition isn't coming along with it, maybe you just need a little boost and that might help you. But for everybody else, like Serena Williams, what are you doing? Like, yes, I get it that, maybe you have a genetic condition that isn't helping, but and I'm sure there's a bunch of reasons why she's doing it. And I shouldn't say that she shouldn't be doing it because I don't know. The narrative that says when somebody who is extremely fit, one of the fittest human beings in the world as a tennis player, is saying, now I need this thing. Maybe she does and maybe she doesn't, but it is appealing to a set of demographic that most of those people don't need that. They don't have a genetic condition that maybe she does. And instead, what they actually need is to find a community of people that are going to boost them up, hold them up, show them what they need to do to be accountable for their actions and for the results that they're trying to get, and to give them education and to help them get there in a slow, steady way that actually leads to long term results. So, should you take it? It depends, but come talk to us first and definitely talk to a doctor, obviously. Another trend in the health community is aging people and their need for fitness. We have a whole generation of baby boomers right now who are really, really, really trying to stay out of the nursing home for as long as humanly possible. And the science has caught up and just showing them that, hey, guys, you got to lift weights, you got to move, you got to go through range of motion. If you don't do that, you're going to lose all of that. You're going to lose your strength, you're going to lose your range of motion, you're going to lose your balance, you're going to lose all the things that keep you safe and let you have a great time in this world. And the best thing that we have found over the last 3 years of running our wellness club, which includes a foundations class on Tuesday that is from 11:15 to 11:45. It's 30 minutes and it's one day a week where we have people with walkers and canes and stroke and Parkinson's and traumatic brain injuries and thoracic strokes and missing limbs and paraplegics. We work with everybody in that class, but we build their foundation of functional movements. We start to get them the functional movements that they're missing back into their life. If they can't get up out of a chair, we work on that. If they can't fall down and get back up on their own, we start to work on that. If they can't pick up something from the ground and put it in a cupboard or an overhead bin in the airplane, we work on that. And we do it one day a week and we give them plenty of recovery time and then we repeat that. And once they can reach a few benchmarks for us, then we push them into the No Shuffle Club, which is 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 11. It's an hour. And we increase the volume, we increase the intensity a little bit. We spend a lot more time focusing on balance drills, and we really start to push them physiologically and psychologically towards our wellness. And our wellness class is held also 2 days a week, and it's on Tuesday or Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 11. But our wellness class is also allowed to come to our No Shuffle Club. So they can come up to 4 days a week and they can slowly increase their fitness and they can increase their range of motion and they can increase their strength. And we have had people that have started in the No Shuffle Club, gone to the wellness class, and are now coming to our group classes 5 days to 6 days a week. That is the progression that we are creating at Coast Range CrossFit for this aging population that needs these functional movements more than we do. Because every day, if they don't do these things like squat, like press, like deadlift, which are just things that you do at Costco, you know what I mean? They are going to lose the ability to do those things. And you are going to have to start focusing on how you're going to get them into a nursing home or how you're going to have somebody come to the home to make sure that they're safe, to help them bring the groceries in, to help go grocery shopping, to help do all the things that they used to be able to do on their own. Well, if they join our foundations class, our wellness class, or our No Shuffle Club, we can guarantee that their lives will get better. We can guarantee that they will get more fitness and that their health will improve. As long as they're coming and listening to what we say, the proof is in the pudding. We see it every day. We see it weekly within our classes. We see it over the last 14 years that we have been open as a facility, that we can take people from a state of decrepitude, which just means that you can't do the things that life demands of you, to a state of not just wellness, but true fitness. which is maximizing what you can do day to day. So I'm proud of Coast Range. I'm proud of everything we've done. I'm proud of what we've been able to do, not just for our fit community, because you could get fit people fitter. But man, being able to look at our gym and know that we have everybody from 5 years old to 95 years old inside of our gym, and everywhere from traumatic brain injuries to strokes to Parkinson's to missing limbs, we can do it. We've done it and we've seen the progress. So good job, guys. Let's keep crushing it. All right, final thoughts. Our core values at Coast Range CrossFit are loving kindness, integrity, wisdom, and self control. And that in itself needs a lot more explanation because it can be up to interpretation if you don't. Loving kindness means that we don't just lead with kindness. You can be kind to people and still be not the nicest person in the world. We do it to our parents, we do it to the people we love all the time, where we get by. And instead, we put love before that. We put things that we say to you come from our heart and from our head, not just what we think you should do, but what we know you should do. We practice what we preach. We care truly about every single one of our members on a deep, deep, deep level. And we want to make sure that our coaches and our athletes always remember to not just lead with kindness, but to lead with loving kindness, to lead with your heart every day, and to let that be the thing that answers the hard questions for you. Integrity is obvious. Just do the things you know you're supposed to do, even when people aren't looking. So come to the cardio class if you're a strength guy, come to the weightlifting class if you're a cardio person. Do it when you don't want to do it the most. Have integrity. It will lead itself to your goals. Wisdom means that we don't give advice. We don't talk about things we don't know anything about. We only share experiences and talk about the things that we are experts in. And it's through that slight shift in mindset that we are able to connect so much more with people because we're not there to tell them, hey man, here's what you're going to do and here's how you're going to get better. We need to practice what we preach in order to give you the wisdom that we learn from those hard moments of doing the things that we don't want to do when we know we should do them. And then we take that wisdom and we pass it along to you guys. And we hope that you guys take that wisdom and you pass along to other people. And slowly over time, through the butterfly effect, we can actually affect hundreds of thousands of more people than we ever thought that we could or we ever actually came in contact with. Now, self control means that you need to have self control when it comes to not eating the cookie, when it comes to getting to bed on time, when it comes to going to the cardio day when you'd rather weightlift, or going to the weightlifting day when you'd rather do cardio, or going to the sauna instead of the bar, going to the cold plunge instead of smoking crack. I don't know, whatever. Just have self control more than you don't, and you will get to your goals. Now, I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this week in review. I'll do my best to try to do this each week for you guys. I'm sure I'll miss a few here and there, but it's just another thing that we're trying to do at Coast Range to give you the best that we absolutely can, to show you that we're prioritizing our time for you guys and that we really truly care. I hope you guys have a great week. And if you have any questions, just hit us up, put them in the comments below, and we'll be sure to answer them on the next week.